All right, we're diving deep into the Bhagavad Gita today, but we're going to do it by looking at just one single line, the very first verse. Now, you might be thinking, what can one sentence really tell us? Well, as you're about to see, this opening is an absolute masterclass in setting a scene, defining a character, and really foreshadowing all the incredible wisdom that's about to unfold. So let's get right into it. So this is it. This is the line. On the surface, it seems pretty straightforward, right? Just a simple report of what's happening. But this isn't just stage direction. Oh no. This is the spark. This is the inciting incident for the entire epic. Seriously, every profound lesson that follows is born from the tension that's captured in these few words. This one sentence kicks the whole thing off. Okay, so to really feel the weight of this moment, we need to kind of pull the camera back and take in the whole scene. Where are we and what is about to go down? We are on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Now, this isn't just any old battle. This is a civil war. It's between two branches of the exact same family, the Pandavas and the Kauravas. They're cousins, and they are fighting for the ultimate prize, the throne of Hastinapura. The stakes could not possibly be higher. You can just imagine the tension hanging thick in the air before a single weapon is even lifted. And how are we even seeing all this? Well, it's through the eyes of Sanjaya, and he has this really unique role. He isn't just some reporter. He's been gifted with divine sight, which lets him narrate the entire battle in real time to the blind king Dhritarashtra, who is the father of the Kauravas. So what that means is that we, the audience, are basically getting a divine live stream commentary of everything as it happens. So let's zoom in now from that wide shot to a close-up on the main character of this verse, King Duryodhana. Because really, his reaction is the key that unlocks this entire opening scene. So who is this guy, Duryodhana? Well, he's the leader of the Kauravas, the main antagonist of the story. And look, he's a courageous and capable leader. There's no doubt about that. But his defining traits? Oh, they're his arrogance, his bottomless greed, and this fierce determination to win no matter what it takes. This is a man who walks onto that battlefield fully expecting to crush his enemies. Which brings us to the million-dollar question, doesn't it? This supremely confident, arrogant king, he looks out across the field of battle. And what does he see that suddenly fills him with anxiety? What in the world could possibly shake a man like Duryodhana? And this is that critical moment. It's a huge shift. He showed up expecting an easy win, right? But instead of seeing a disorganized mob, he sees the Pandava army arranged in a perfect, strategic military formation. And in that instant, the hard reality of the situation just hits him like a ton of bricks. He sees their strength, he sees their preparation, and all that arrogance just starts to crack. For the very first time, we see a hint of fear. But here's the thing about Duryodhana. He isn't the type to just crumble in fear. That anxiety, it immediately triggers a strategic move. This isn't panic, this is a pivot. Let's see how he turns that worry into action. You can almost see it unfold in 3 quick steps. First, he observes. He doesn't just glance, he really assesses the enemy formation. Second, realization dawns on him. This is a serious threat, and this war is not going to be the cakewalk he expected. And third, he takes immediate action, but he doesn't just yell orders or charge ahead. No. He goes to his teacher. And who is this teacher? Dronacharya, a legendary warrior, a master of military strategy. But, and this is where it gets really complicated, Drona taught the art of war to both sides. He was the guru for the Pandavas and the Kauravas. So when Duryodhana goes to him, he's literally seeking advice from the very man who trained his enemies in the strategies that are now terrifying him. Think about that. So we've unpacked all this psychological drama packed into just one sentence. But why does this one single moment matter so much? Okay, let's zoom back out and really understand how this sets the entire stage for the Bhagavad Gita. This verse basically gives us 3 huge takeaways right from the start. First, strategy is everything. Duryodhana fears their formation, not just their numbers. Preparation matters. Second, it shows us the vulnerability of the strong. Even a mighty king, full of arrogance, has moments of doubt and needs guidance. And finally, and this is so important, all of this tension, this fear, it creates the perfect environment for what's about to happen, Arjuna's own crisis of conscience, which then opens the door for the profound wisdom of Lord Krishna. And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. The Bhagavad Gita doesn't open with a beautiful prayer or some divine chant. It starts with a very raw, very human emotion, a king's fear on a battlefield.
It begins with doubt. So what does that teach us about facing our own battles? The big and the small ones. Maybe it tells us that acknowledging our fear isn't a weakness at all, but maybe it's the very first, most essential step toward finding real wisdom.